What's up everyone, my name's Oscar. I'm from Gold Coast Automotive. Today I present to you this 997.2 Turbo S. This vehicle underwent a full reconditioning process at the shop, and I want to go over it with you and share with you a little bit more in depth than what we did to this vehicle. If you follow me, I'll go over it with you from the very beginning. This project started in December during Christmas of 2023. The client brought us the vehicle and wanted us to start a full recondition on it. The story actually goes back a couple of years. Jonathan, the owner of the vehicle, brought the vehicle to us for a paint correction and ceramic coating. It had been done before by another shop, although he was not very happy with the results. And after we worked on his race car, his Integra Type R, that it should be actually a show car, not a race car, but we got the privilege to work on that, and he wanted us to do the same thing to his Turbo S. Unfortunately, it was sitting in the type of condition that I wasn't really comfortable in doing that kind of work and not getting the outcome it deserved. So I said to him, you should probably paint some parts of this car to make it perfect, and maybe we can do that and revisit down the road. So a year and a half went by, and Jonathan came back and said, let's get this overhauled. So it all started with the front lip being pretty damaged. There was damage up in the front corner over here. It does sit pretty low, this vehicle. The front bumper was peeling. All the paint was just kind of coming up, and that was from previous lip repairs and bumper resprays. The front end, this car was driven. It's only got 70,000 kilometers, which is under 40,000 miles. This vehicle was driven, so it had stone chips, never had any paint protective film. There was stone chips all across the hood, fenders. The entire rocker panels were completely chewed out and pitted as well. And that damage did bring it right up the rockers. So the rocker panels needed to be blended here. The rear bumper was also damaged on the vehicle, and just from rocks hitting the back face over here and pitting it away, the bottom of the bumper, and then there was some couple impact marks that the vehicle had over the time of its ownership. In addition to that, we also had to repaint this top piece of the wing that was burnt by the previous shop that had been polishing the vehicle. So not everyone has the experience or the right tools to measure the paint, and unfortunately things like that will happen to people if they are not taking the right procedures. So at our shop we make sure we measure the paint before we paint correct the vehicle, and we know what we're working with. We like to know the history of the car, if it's had paint in the past, and etc. So after going over the vehicle, Jonathan brought it to us. We wanted to do a full recondition on this vehicle, but we wanted to wash it first and inspect it. So we did that. With Jonathan's approval, we got the vehicle sent over to Maxim Auto Body for paint work, and we started the repairs. Everything I mentioned was repainted aside from the front hood. We actually did all the stone chip repairs on that, and including the fenders. So only the front bumper, rear bumper, side skirts were painted, which are all plastic, and the rear quarter panels were blended and then re-cleared. Now that leaves us with a vehicle that has uneven paint thickness. It also had imperfections, just like you would get from most body shops, little paint nibs and little marks in the paint, such as fish eyes. So we wet sanded all the paint that was done on the vehicle, and that was about 65 to 75 hours worth of work, closer to 75 with the touch-up repairs, where we touch them up and level them, sanded, so the hood was cleared. We did the stone chip repairs on it throughout the entire vehicle, and then wet sanded all the panels that were painted. So if you measure this vehicle, that actually is factory paint thickness on all the panels that have been painted. That's how much we were able to bring back this vehicle to that original type of condition. Now the main objective to do all this work was to get film on the entire vehicle. The client was adamant about having the entire vehicle covered with paint protective film. So the vehicle is a full body wrap with clear paint protective film that is self-healing, and it's got hydrophobic properties out of this world. In addition, the client wanted to also have the film ceramic coated on top of that ceramic top coat that it comes with from the factory, as it is stronger and it lasts longer. And I gotta say, the hydrophobics, after washing it today for the first time, after a few weeks of the customer driving it, unmatchable. I've yet to see such hydrophobic properties. We also had the front windshield replaced. That one was cracked. The tint was all removed off the vehicle. It had sort of purplish looking tint already. So we ended up removing all the tint and doing 70% ceramic expel tint on all the windows. It gives that Euro look, still transparent, has great heat rejection, and keeps that interior cooler during our summer months. Everything's been filmed, from headlights to these side markers, mirrors, obviously, the scoops, the taillights, all have been protected with film, then ceramic coated. We detailed the interior and the engine bay as well. And that brings us to the vehicle looking like this. It literally looks like a brand new 997 rolling off the shore back in 2012. In addition to our reconditioning process, the little things that we also do to make it feel like that brand new car rolling off the floor in 2012 would be reconditioning all the black plastics. We re-dye them and get them ceramic coated. So front grille over here on the cowl was also refinished. We went as far as removing these scoops when we were doing the full body, so we ended up refinishing all the plastics on the inside as well of that scoop, and any black plastic you can think on the vehicle was reconditioned. Also, we had some paintless dent repair done on this car. The car had about like 15 dents, believe it or not. There was quite a bit on this door, other door, fenders, one on the roof. The hood had a few dents in it from rocks. So over, 10, 12 years, you're driving the car, things happen. And even though Jonathan is a guy that takes care of his cars, it was basic wear and tear. So the car didn't look terrible from 4 or 5 feet away, but as you walk closer, you could tell that it had a better life in the past. So here it is, looking this fresh, really turns heads, and now we get to be a part of this reconditioning process for Jonathan and his 911 Turbo.